Morning guys, welcome back to the channel and the Land Rover project. So if you're just joining me for the first time, welcome to the channel. My name's Joel and this is my 1978 Series 3 short wheelbase 2.25 petrol, which I've owned for pretty much most of my life. It was my first car when I was 17, I'm now 45, and I restored it over the course of 6 years from 2015. I'm now in Germany and I brought it with me when I moved here in 2018 and haven't used it a huge amount, which is why I was quite surprised when this latest issue developed, which turned out to be a blown head gasket. So it was blown in two places, as you would have seen from my previous videos. If you haven't seen them, by all means go back and check them out on this series, but also on the restoration. I've videoed this project from day one from 2015, so there's a huge amount of content in there regards this project and the restoration. So check it out if you haven't seen it. Anyway, so where are we with this one? I got the cylinder head back on yesterday. I checked for tolerances yesterday and we were absolutely fine. So there's no warpage in the block or the cylinder head. So I'm very pleased with that. So what I'm trying to do today, it's Sunday, it's a lovely warm day outside, and it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. So getting a relatively early start, I guess. And yeah, the idea is to complete this project today. So hopefully, I mean, that is the goal. And hopefully we'll get it done and I'll be able to take it down to the next building down there where there's water, because I have got no water in my garage, which is a shame. I could really do with the water supply up here. And we're going to flush the system. So that is the next step. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is to set this valve clearance here, because you'll remember from yesterday I replaced this part here because it had been broken off. You'll also remember that I bought a new locating pin for the rocker shaft to put in here, but having cleaned it out, there's no locating hole in the shaft. So this engine obviously only just takes one locating pin. So yeah, I'm going to reset this and I'll do that right now. Very handily on the rocker cover with Land Rovers, you have the tappet clearance right here. So it's 0.10 of an inch clearance. So I'm just going to grab my feeler gauge and get this sorted. Okay, so we've got that done pretty sharpish. This is tappet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And using the 9er rule is 9 minus 3 is 6. So valve number 3 has to be fully compressed in order to adjust valve number 6. So that's all done. It's really supposed to be parallel with the engine. It doesn't seem to be. Oh well, that's the best I can get it there. Maybe I need to turn that a little bit, the housing here. So I've got the throttle cable connected back up, got the water hoses and the pipes connected up, tightened up. Now what I've got to do is put the breather hose on and the breather on here as well. So let's do that. Okay, so just going to do this hose down here, and then I'm going to put the air box on. I know I keep using a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver on these Jubilee clips, but it's best to use a socket. Move that out of the way. Make sure not to electrocute myself this time. That's got to go back in there as well. Can't remember whether that goes over or under the airbox. Have a look. Well, it is noticeably warmer in the workshop today. I'm sweating, it's mad. So hot. Ah, the Jubilee clip's missing for the... Aha! There it is. So that's that back on. I need to reconnect the vacuum advance on that. Seems to be a little bit bent actually. Probably when I took the head off, sort of caught this cable a little bit. That's on, that's tightened, that's tightened, that isn't tightened yet. Right, so I still have the issue here with the thermostat. I haven't dealt with that yet. And I also noticed my fan belt is quite loose, so I'm going to have to tighten that up. So I ended up cleaning the thermostat housing without removing it. I've got it really clean in there now, so I'm happy with that. Obviously what I'll do is when I put it back together, I'll make sure that it's obviously opening and the thermostat's functioning properly. And as I said, I'll be flushing the system, so I'm fine with that. What am I going to do now? I'm going to plug that back in because I've just seen that's unplugged. Under there. I'm now going to put the top hose back on, I think. Oops. Yeah. Okay, top hose back on. Or am I going to drain it first? Obviously that won't drain with the thermostat closed. So, yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'm going to put it all back together, fill up the system, and then get it started first. Don't forget the timing's all off, and I'm guessing it won't start. So get it started, and then let the water circulate the engine, thermostat opens, and then I'll drain it again, and then I'll refill it. Okay, so I think we're at a point now where I've got everything connected back together. The battery's disconnected still, and the spark plugs are still out, and the exhaust is still not connected yet. So I think it's a good time to do the compression test. Yeah, I don't see, obviously I've only got myself to consult, but I guess I don't see any reason why I wouldn't do that now. Maybe I'll actually do connect up the exhaust first so that the car is sort of done, and then do the compression test. And then when that's okay, I will put the spark plugs in, connect up the leads, and then go for a first start. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to clear up the workshop because there are tools and there's mess and the engine hoist everywhere. So I'm going to do that first, and then I will go back onto the car. So, tied it up, it's looking a lot better. Of course, anyone with a garage will know it can always look a lot better than it does, but I'm pretty pleased with that, and allows me to, crack on now. So, obviously I've got the cowl to go on, I've got to clean up the spark plugs again, chuck that away. It's my crank handle. And yeah, so what I'm going to do now is connect up the exhaust. I've cleaned that up. I think I might just stick a pipe down there and hoover up just in case any of the cement got down into the pipe there. And then I'm going to do compression test. So I didn't do any videoing of it because it's too much of a pain really. You can't really get under there and it's not light enough, but I've fixed the downpipe onto the manifold, used some exhaust paste and tightened those 3 studs up on the underside of the manifold. So let me remove that. I was just using this bungee cord to hold that flange up here a little bit so I could reach it from the top, because it always just slides down the exhaust pipe and then underneath the car. So that's why that bungee cord is there. So I'm going to do some, I hope the battery's okay, because I didn't have the trickle charger on it. I needed that at home for something. So yeah, I'm going to connect up the battery and see if the engine turns over. Okay, I'm just going to try the just going to turn it over. Okay, perfect. So that means I can do the compression test. Right, so the last time I tried the compression test, I had on cylinder 1, I had 68 psi. 2 was 72, 3 was 103, 4 was 106. So I'm going to try cylinder 1 now. Need the keys. So what have we got? Okay, so that's a little bit better. We've got 100 and... oh no, sorry, we've got, it's bar, whoops. It's bar, so I have to convert it. So it's, what's that? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's 10.5 bar. So I'm just gonna write that down. 10.5 bar. Reading it below, I had 4.75 the last time. I'm going to do the conversions in a minute. This is looking incredibly promising there, as you'd imagine, with a new cylinder head gasket. Come on, in you go. There we go. Tighten that up a little bit, put that there. I'll leave the keys in the ignition. A strange slap there. I think there's something wrong with the... okay, so just under 10 bar. What is that? That is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.75 bar, I would say. 9.75. Before I had 5, so it's almost double, which is very promising. Cylinder, oh, don't forget to remove the pressure. Cylinder number 3. Tighten that up. What have we got on cylinder number 3? We have got, wow, 11.25 bar. That's strong. 11.25. Before I had 7. And cylinder number 4, last but not least. What's that? Strange. That was strange. No compression whatsoever. Let me do that again. Maybe one of the valves is sticking. Maybe I need to, oh God, maybe I need to adjust all the valves. Okay, tighten that up again. Let's try it again. Okay, there's something clearly wrong there because there's no compression on cylinder number 4. which most likely means I have I guess there's something wrong with the valve. There's one of the valves is stuck open. Oh, what a pain in the arse. Just put everything back together. Right, I guess I'm going to have to check the valves. Okay, so I've taken the rocker cover off, and I've seen that on cylinder number 4, the one of the valves, the rearmost valve there, isn't closing properly. So I think there's probably something wrong with this push rod here. So unfortunately, I've got to loosen all of the cylinder head bolts off again and take the rocker shaft off. So here goes. So that must have been the quickest strip down ever. Basically, when I was putting these push rods back in, I obviously just put one of them just on the edge of the, I don't know what it's called, the receiving cup down there, the lifter. And it was just on the edge, which meant the valve was continuously open. So I've just checked it for flatness against another one, and it seems to be absolutely fine. I mean, good, this is a book, it's not a, you know, a metal surface, but yeah, there's a little bit of marking on the cone there. You can't see it, but obviously where it was sort of sitting on this on the lifter. So, you live and learn, huh? It's always really worth going back through everything that you're doing. Don't just drop the push rods in there expecting them to locate. Obviously that wasn't located properly. I can feel it's located properly now. Sorry, I'm sweating ridiculously because it's very hot. And yeah, I'm going to do some more checks to see if that's that push rod's okay. I'm pretty confident it is, because obviously what was happening is the valve spring would have taken up the extra slack. So when I took the rocker cover off, I could see that it was sort of constantly slightly open, the valve. So that was taking up the slack. It wasn't as if it was pushing against something that wasn't giving, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to check it again. I'm going to look online to see if I can find a method of checking push rods for flatness, and then I'll carry on.